Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins along with my brother Brent. We're going to be sharing with you some interesting videos just into Third Phase Moon, especially when it's captured by an airline pilot flying over the Atlantic Ocean. The captain spotted this orb, lights that kept moving around. It seemed that there was a phenomenon that was going down and they managed to capture it. Watch this. Alright, I'm going to get a side-by-side comparison. Look at these objects move, rotate around each other, and the one to the right just takes off at an extraordinary rate of speed. These pilots managed to capture something at 30,000 feet in the sky, something very unusual. We're going to watch this once more, and guys, let me ask you the big question. What do you think it is? Because in my opinion, we're looking at two UFOs dancing around each other, and then again, this thing just takes off at an extraordinary rate of speed. We're looking at something that can't be explained. Yeah, Blake, check out that rotation. Right when the pilot spotted this UFO, it did this kind of dance, as you say, but it did this circular motion, almost counterclockwise, and then that orb right to the right just shot off, like you said, just like out of nowhere, and then that one orb just kind of remains stationary. Again, pilots are, especially commercial pilots, are number one source to go to for UFOs in the sky. Our U.S. Navy, military, they're not going to tell us anything. Basically, commercial pilots now have the opportunity to disclose whatever they see in the sky without ridicule. So this is really good stuff right here. It's interesting, too, because the testimony from the pilot, they said while they're flying that whole week, they were seeing strange objects in the sky. They were lucky enough to capture this moment of time. But as these orbs pirouette around each other, it seems that they're almost interacting with one another. It's just very interesting. I got to rule out any kind of commercial airliner at 30,000 feet doing this kind of maneuver. This is something very unusual, and that's why right here at Third Phase Moon, we're sharing you the UFO evidence coming in from around the world. Let's roll the next one right now, guys. Take a look at this.
Just see. Just like that.
Right, once again, a side-by-side comparison. The one to the right, I'm trying to track on to whatever this strange object is. It's just morphing in different shapes and sizes. At first, it looked like the Glock, the bell. Then it looks like a humanoid. Then it looks like an octopus. I don't know. This thing is getting stranger and stranger. The UFOs are off the hook this week. Yeah, Blake, this one's pretty bizarre. This is a great close-up right there. You see the appendages, kind of these legs kind of protruding from the bottom of this craft or humanoid or biological being. We don't know what it is. It's very seemingly just floating there. We don't know what kind of propulsion is keeping this up. Could it be a balloon? It could be. I'm just throwing it out there, but I've never seen a balloon like this, especially kind of shaped and kind of morphed like it did right there into this kind of humanoid form. Again, it's rising upward in a straight vector line. It's not wavering from left to right, but just kind of straight up, consistent in its flight pattern. So balloons usually kind of waver one way or to the other, and this is pretty stationary, but the thing is morphing. Like you say, Brent, the appendages on the bottom, it seems to morph in different shapes. Some people might call it the humanoid. I'm not exactly sure, but again, more UFO videos. This is coming in from Russia. Guys, take a look at this. With all the military action in the region of this area, maybe it's some kind of military surveillance blimp, but look at this. Basically, I call it the shark fin, and it's pretty unusual. I'd have to say this is some kind of unmanned surveillance But again, it could be something otherworldly. I haven't seen anything quite like this with the rudder underneath and this dark shadow. I don't know, it's just very bizarre, and it runs for some while, this video. I'm gonna get a close-up still off the video itself. Again, I don't know, guys, it looks very strange to me. It almost looks like a blimp cut in half. But again, the shark fin rotor, it's almost like a surfboard fin, a single fin. But then again, it just doesn't make any sense here. What are we looking at? Yeah, Blake, like you said, it almost looks like a cutoff. Yeah, Blake, this definitely resembles basically a cut-off surfboard. You see the fin at the bottom, the single fin, and then it's just kind of just square cut right in the middle of this thing. I really haven't seen a balloon like this or surveillance balloon apparatus of this kind. We've seen this kind of stuff before at Third Phase of Moon, but this one's super unusual. I like the way it's just static right there in the sky. We got a really good close-up. The clarity's all there. This is as good as it gets. Is this identified or is it unidentified? We don't know, because I've never seen anything like this with this sort of technology. Yeah, Brian, I'm kind of scratching my head. It looks metallic. I'm not seeing any portholes. I'm not seeing any kind of gondola underneath. And again, this black fin, is this the propulsion behind it? Is it aerodynamic to cut through the sky? Some kind of, it's unidentified. Now, more videos just in. Guys, take a look at this. This is pretty bizarre. Somebody driving down the street in a neighborhood captures these lights in the skies. It almost looks like a massive mothership. But then they start to act in a weird way. They're rotating from right to left, and then they shoot off in extreme rates of speeds. Just watch this video for a little bit. Now we get more of the picture, more series of lights in the skies, and in the middle of nowhere, it seems to me, and it almost looks like a huge disc up in the sky here. Brent, what are we looking at? Is this some kind of Project Blue Beam or some kind of holographic image in the sky? Yeah, right there, bam. Did you just see it? It just ripped across the sky, and then when the person keeps filming, then we see the series of lights just floating up there in the sky, kind of like you said, it definitely resembled a disc-shaped object. Could this be some sort of light show? Here it comes with the speed as it just flies right over the camera there. I really like that. It's pretty wicked. Is this new technology with some laser show or of some sort? But I'm not sure. What I'm looking at is the speed and the way it just blurs out as it moves across the camera. It really adds a lot of dynamic to the whole series of events right there. Again, just right over the camera. How fast is this thing moving? Pretty much at light speed, Brian. I don't know. Super fast. And again, at one point, it's just stationary in the sky. And it almost looks like somebody with like if you imagine a flashlight and somebody just tilted the flashlight and this light's beaming on the wall and just kind of takes off. But then again, look at these series of lights just zooming across the sky behind the trees. Extraordinary rates of speed. This isn't no airplane. This isn't no drone. It's not Superman, guys. It's something unknown. Look at these lights. Yeah, another example of these strange lights that move at rapid speed. Again, I'm throwing it out there because could this just be maybe some sort of laser show, some new technology of maybe, you know, Blake said Project Blue Beam, or is it a commercial? Are we looking at something commercial or something private? Yeah, once again, the phenomenon continues to come into Third Phase Moon. It's been a busy week, and we're sharing you the videos as fast as they come in. In this episode, we have plentiful viewpoint of UFOs coming in. So let's just roll the next one right now. Guys, take a look at this closely. We got airborne phenomenon. Now we have something seemingly underneath the water itself. I added some brightness contrast to make whatever this thing pop so we could take a look at it a little better. Is this illuminated orb underneath this body of water or above it? That's the big question here. And the other question is, again, what are we looking at? Is this some kind of prism effect, some kind of lens flare? I don't think so. We're looking at something that's actually in this middle of this body of water just illuminated in broad daylight. So whatever it is, it's extremely lit up, that's for sure. Yeah, it's a good point. I was just about to say that this is broad daylight, and we're seeing this light upon the ocean, or maybe underneath the water itself, projecting this massive amount of light. That would take a lot of power to do that in broad daylight. Again, could this be some sort of USO activity, or is this some sort of like a phenomenon, just a natural phenomenon that we're looking at? Yeah, I'm doing a little research here, and it's coming in from Manitoba, Canada. So I'm thinking this is some kind of lake, and there's a lot of UFO sightings in the Manitoba region. So is there something unknown lurking beneath the waters? It's hard to tell, guys. I want to get your opinion in this live premiere. Now, more videos just into Third Phase Moon. Let's put up the next one right now. Take a look. We have some kind of lit up cylindrical cigar shaped craft just hovering in the sky. Some people might call it the Cigar UFO. Some people might call it a beam of light. Whatever it is, it's just hanging there. And somebody captured this in Florida, and we're sharing it with you right now. More broad daylight sightings. I'm slowing down the video so we could take a look at this. I don't think this is a string of balloons. This thing is pretty straight, and it's quite lengthy as well. I'm guessing at least maybe 50 to 70 feet in length here. Yeah, it's pretty massive. You can see it's past the tree line there, Blake, and this is a good shot. He gets as close as he can. Technology could only get you that close with a cell phone camera. So right now, I think we're looking at the best quality this guy could get. And there it is. Here's a slow-mo shot of this long cylindrical object. You can see kind of like the shadow underneath it. Again, proving in my opinion that this is 100% legit. There's no CGI. What we're all looking at all throughout this episode is there's no CGI. We just don't know what it is. And again, this is another unidentified object, a cigar shape that we just can't tell what it is. Is it just me, or is Florida right now having a flap of UFO sightings over the past few weeks? It's quite insane what's going on over there. So always have your cameras ready. Let's roll the next video into Third Phase of Moon. Hit that thumbs up.
A local resident noticed a series of lights passing overhead and initially thought they were
allegedly
from a balloon.
Showing some kind of
However,
dish-shaped
photographs
object
taken during the
hovering
sighting suggest
above
something
the
more
tree
obscure.
line. We're going to get some close-ups.
The first image clearly captures a circular flying object with 3 bright white lights and 1 small red light.
In there so we could
the camera's focus is sharp on the object, with the background trees appearing blurred.
Photoshop. I'm not exactly sure.
The object is partially
again,
obscured by branches, with the only exception being the light on the lower left portion of the disc that appears to be in front of the branches.
I'm liking what I'm seeing here, and here's a second shot, which adds a little bit more credibility to the series of events that we're looking at here. Again, we're seeing the lights kind of behind the tree line as it looks natural to me. It looks like it's a real photo, no real manipulation. I'm saying zero manipulation. What we're seeing is real. Could this be some sort of drone up in the sky? I've never seen anything quite like that. We do have a series of lights, 3 white lights, and then the 1 red light to the kind of middle right. What are we looking at? Is this your classic UFO here? It's definitely looking pretty good here on legitimacy as this being a real photo. Yeah, absolutely. And some people say, why would an alien ship have lights at all? Well, that's a definite question to bring up, but maybe the answer is the lights that we see is maybe the propulsion behind the levitation of these craft. Is it maybe some plasmic energy that's coming from the bottom of these craft lighting up in this plasmic form to create these lights? And it's not necessarily navigation lights, but propulsion for the craft itself. So I'm not exactly sure, but definitely it's a disc-shaped object that's in the sky. Typical flying saucer. It seems that this was captured either in the evening or early morning. We're trying to get the information from the person who shot it, maybe pick their brain about what they experienced, because again, these photos represent, in my opinion, something legitimate. And this one, definitely you could see these orbs of light just flickering right behind the branches. And again, this money shot, I gotta say, this is something that's quite incredible. If it indeed is true, I would like to see some video of this. I'm kind of ruling that this is good stuff here. I'm not seeing any manipulation. We did a lot of enhancements, and I'm not seeing any kind of overlay. It looks pretty good to me. So guys, let's get your opinions of what do you think it is, and Would you want to fly around in this thing? I sure would. Now, let's get to the next video into third phase of moon. Guys, buckle up for this. It's kind of interesting. We kind of saved the best for last. Watch this. Again, in the battle zone, this one coming in, again, I think from Russia, and we're looking at these jet fighters basically in hot pursuit of something, but maybe something's in pursuit of the jet fighters themselves. We have two anomalies show up, just fractions of a second viewed in frame, split seconds, and there it is. What are we looking at? Are these what the government call UAPs?
Yeah, these kind of hot spots where military action is taking place around the world, there's always seems to be a correlation between UFOs and military. Is this a perfect example of it right now? You really got to slow the video down to capture these two spherical orbs in pursuit of the jet, if that's what's happening. Again, new technology, something maybe otherworldly, keeping an eye on things and these the skirmishes around our planet. That's a possibility.
You know, our cameras could only shoot, 29 frames a second, sometimes 60 frames a second. But if these things are moving 15,000, 20,000 miles an hour, you would only see it for a fraction of a second on the frame. And that's pretty interesting to me. Once split second it's there, it's almost like maybe about one frame of 29 frames. And it's there and it's not in the next series of frames. So if these things are UFOs, they're moving extremely fast. Maybe faster than the jet. I would say it is, because we see the jet consistent. These things just pop out of existence. Now, like I said, Florida is lighting up. Here's a perfect example. Back in the orange state, we're seeing something in the sky illuminating the ocean below, coming from this bright orb in the sky and this tractor beam underneath it. Or is this some kind of helicopter? I'm not seeing any evidence of that.
Yeah, it's hard telling what it is, but it's just a beautiful shot. We're seeing an unidentified object in the sky kind of projecting this kind of plasma blue, kind of misty light upon the water itself. And then you got this glowing, just bright orange spherical ball at the top. Definitely unique, very cool to look at and speculate what we're actually looking at. I don't know. It's unidentified. It's a UFO. Could it be a helicopter? Maybe a drone with a huge spotlight? Or, again, maybe some USO that just popped up out of the ocean there in Florida.
You know, the UFO phenomenon, it's picking up right now. So if you've captured anything amazing, don't hesitate. Pull your camera out. Film the phenomenon. And if you got something good, upload it to YouTube. Copy, paste that link to my email. It's in the description. And we'll share it to the world right here at Third Phase of Moon. So everybody, be safe out there and keep your eyes on the skies. Blake Cousins along with my brother Brent. We'll see ya next time.
Catch y'all later.